TikTok.
That's weird.
It says we're live, but are we?
Baseball playoffs been pretty boring.
Baseball. Mets won today. That's all that matters, man.
I did see that. It's not. I don't know if that's a good thing. I would have liked to lose that game.
Mets won today. That's all that matters in life.
I would have liked the loss.
Would you though?
Yeah, why not?
We'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll talk about that when we're.
I don't know if it mattered in the draft pick stuff, but can't hurt.
Vincent Buck gets another win in his belt.
And make it 180 even.
For his life or as a Met?
I think it meant maybe 178, maybe. I don't remember.
Managerial records. Before we click the button, let's see.
They won 101 last year, and what 77?
148. Nope, 175. I don't know if this counted today or not, but 175 total.
That
is lowest for any team that he ever managed. Probably.
Yeah, well, I think he lasted more than 2 years in every other spot.
This is actually an interesting. This is actually like crazy strange. Okay, let's click this new intro thingy.
Okay.
Welcome, episode 369, SND Podcast Show. Vin is feeling better and back. He's too sick from the Packers beating the Saints, so yeah.
We're back.
Why'd you look so confused when the song was over?
I don't know. I was thinking about the song. It was a good song.
It had like a Revenge of the Nerds kind of feel to it.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
The first one when they're on the stage.
Yeah.
At the end, when they're doing the the Safety Man song.
Yeah.
That we don't own the rights to, so we're not going to do it. This song, we got the rights and the royalty.
Even though you just sang it.
I didn't sing it up. Nobody knows what it was. It's okay.
No.
All right, I gotta ask because of your background. Are you excited or like weirded out that they're gonna reboot The Office?
I'm not excited.
You are the Office guy.
Yeah, I'm not excited. I'll be honest. I mean, they would have to bring back the entire exact original cast, and I don't think that's gonna happen. I feel like
they already said. What's his name? Jim said he'd be back. Dwight said he would do it. I know a couple others said they would be in.
But I feel like it's going to be like the majority, like the lesser people. And then like Jim works remotely and you see him once every 3 episodes. And maybe you see Dwight again, same thing. And Steve Carell is going to be nowhere to be found. So
Steve Carell could be that guy who's like on the phone with Jim giving advice.
Yeah, like it's not.
But he's not really there.
Never gonna be the same. They're gonna do a lot of working remotely things, and I think that's gonna make it worse.
I was talking to a coworker, and we said they should do it where you get all the young guys that were in the like final episodes that weren't great. But basically putting them in, like, you basically move the show forward type of thing.
Sure.
And kind of like, you know.
I probably have a different, I don't know if it's a hot take. So there's 7 seasons with Steve Carell.
Correct.
Then season 8 happens, and season 8 stinks. But season 9, they refound their footing, I think. I don't think Yes, I don't think they ended it very well, and I don't think the majority of season 9 is bad. I really just think it was the middle where they tried to bring in Will Ferrell, and then they couldn't figure out everybody's role. And like I think in season 9 they kind of got everybody in their roles, and it was working better. I mean, it was never going to be the same as you know the peak of it, but I don't think the end was bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think everybody, like I said, I don't think.
I think they ended it so well that it's gonna just. There's no reason. It's like, see, like I could understand the people wanting the Seinfeld reboot because they were in jail. You can just.
Yeah, but even
it would suck, but like,
yeah,
still, it's an easy transition to go into something new for them.
Setup wise, I suppose, but it's just like you said, they ended everything so well in The Office. It's unless you're getting literally everybody back, it doesn't make sense to me. It's just going to be a lot of the Angelas and the Stanleys and the Kevins, and
it's the guys who don't make money. That's what it comes down to.
But even like everybody on the I don't know what they made residual wise. That show still runs to this day, and will
it's
run
on right now on Comedy
forever.
Central while we're recording.
Yeah, it'll run forever. And Kevin is like the highest earner on Cameo on the planet. He makes like fucking millions of dollars doing cameos.
Yeah, and he's got his podcast now that's successful.
Right, and the girls have their podcast. Angela and Jenna Fisher, obviously. Pam have their podcast that does great. So like I don't really know
who needs the money.
Who needs the money besides NBC? So I really
does it NBC or does Peacock want the money, or is Peacock looking for a way to make more money? Huh? Who knows?
If they want to do a movie, I don't know what the plot would be.
Yeah, but how many shows have you said, "Hey, let's do a movie," and then the movie's trash, like the Entourage movie?
I mean, the Entourage movie wasn't that bad.
It wasn't bad, but like it could have just been 6 weeks of episodes, and we would have been fine.
Sure, but also the whole premise of the show, the documentary aired. So why are we still watching these people? That's it. We're done.
Maybe there's your plot. What do we do now? Nobody's recording me. What do I do?
But then what's the point of the recording? It doesn't make, none of it makes sense.
Maybe it's like a reunion type of thing where they meet up and they want to go to watch it. They finally go to air it, so they all meet up at like a place to watch it.
That's what happens.
You bring back a young group, and it's basically just a young group of people recreating the originals.
They do that at the end of the show. The last episode of the last scene of the show is they jump ahead like 2 years, and the thing's airing, and they're getting married, and they go watch the show at Kevin's bar. That's what it is. I don't. They're bringing in David Robertson in the 4th inning of this baseball game.
I'm not even watching. I was watching for Edge to come out. He didn't come out to start the game, to start the night. They showed him on TV that he's there. He said hello to Chris Jericho, and then they just kind of.
Well, he's got a match later, doesn't he?
No, he's talking. He is CM Punk's replacement for AEW.
Okay, but I thought he had a match.
He's going to have matches on Saturdays. He's going to be one of the Saturday guys. His role is going to be Saturday night.
I could have sworn that.
No, he came out. He made a big.
Did he have a match beating up
Christian?
Night?
No, he came out by having a big thing against Christian on Sunday at their pay-per-view, where he debuted.
Because I saw a thing where he was gonna be on. He had a match or something on Dynamite, which is now, right?
Right.
And the WWE was countering with like Cena's gonna be on NXT
next week. That's all next week.
That's all next week. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So they have like a YouTube show on Tuesdays. He's gonna have a match on that next week. So it's like Cena, Paul Heyman. They're saying Roman may show up to NXT. Like
There was another big
They're going to
thing,
make sure nobody watches AEW on
Right.
Tuesday. And nobody does anyway, so it doesn't
But
matter.
it's Wednesday because Tuesday is baseball next week, I think. I don't know.
No, they had that. I don't know.
I thought that's what I saw.
All that matters is David Robinson's still using his Met glove for the black jersey Met glove.
I mean,
basically the same colors.
Much. Yeah, it's just the same, almost the same colors.
Before we kind of get into baseball, it is almost hockey season, and you know what? The Islanders literally ruined the start of this episode for us because I was literally going to be like, "Is Kyle Palmieri dead? Like, do we know where this guy is? Because nobody knew where he was."
He
and
lives.
Then, poof!
Out of nowhere.
That was a bomb.
Gone.
David Robinson getting lit makes me happy.
That's tough. Are we gonna get all sweeps? Is anybody gonna win? No, so far.
All I know is yesterday I had money on not one team scoring a run in the first inning, and the stupid Twins did it with 2 outs in the top of the first inning and ruined the whole day for me.
Tough.
And then I also had the Blue Jays winning that series because the Twins are the Twins, and for 20 years you bet against the Twins in the playoffs.
The Blue Jays scored 1 run.
They need to talk. We'll talk about that in a bit, but talk about a team that may have to start blowing up.
Vladdy stinks. That's might
He
just
got
be
off at second by like 20 feet.
Also, he's just not a good hitter as much as he was. So there's some trouble here. There's trouble brewing in Toronto.
But Milwaukee's our new farm system anyway, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But Kyle Palmieri lives. The problem is with Kyle Palmieri living, though, is the great Hudson Fasching basically gets pushed off.
Okay. He can't be pushed off.
So here, I'll go over the lines from practice today so you can see. He was rotating with Palmieri, which makes sense because Palmieri came back for the first time today, was on the ice for the first time in training camp, and camp's only about 2 weeks old. So I approve of the fact of the rotation of getting him, you're basically getting a stamina. They basically said he's not going to play in the preseason, maybe Friday night in the last game.
Yeah.
They said, but they don't know if they want to kind of use that as an idea, because if they do that, then it's like, how much can he really play in the last preseason game when you could have a guy like Fasching who could play the whole game? But also, nobody knows where he was. He never said where he's been for 2 weeks.
I don't know what the injury was. They said he was skating on his own and never actually saw him skate on his own.
Nobody saw him skate. Nobody saw his face. Nobody saw him show up. I think he was at the original media day.
I couldn't tell you.
I'm like scrolling through my when I could just search for Andrew Gross, can I? Guy still works for this team, right? Still writes for this team? Staples
maybe?
back. Speaking of guys who...
is he actually back?
He does both now for The Athletic. So the guy who stinks went to Philadelphia. He stunk.
Okay. I want to talk about that for a second. There are people apparently mad that he used that as a stepping stone to get to where he wants to be. Everyone on the planet is doing this.
Yeah, that's just how it is.
That's how life works.
You're eventually going to get an offer to go to your hometown, and
he never gave a shit about the Islanders.
He never cared about San Jose either.
Yeah, I don't. He was fine. I didn't think he was that bad of a guy. I never read his writing, really.
So the lines in practice today were Holmstrom, Horvat, Barzell.
Still don't know why we're doing that, but we'll get to that.
Because there's 10 days left till... While we're recording, there's 10 days left to opening day, so he gets first-line privileges.
Oh, okay. Right.
Duh.
It's a gift. Okay, got it.
If it's your number, you get, on day 6, we'll let Pulak skate with the first line.
Right, correct. A question about him, too, but we'll get there.
Engvall, Nelson, Palmieri.
Right.
Lee, Pajot, Wallstrom, and the fourth line.
Okay.
And Fasching was flip-flopping with Palmieri most of the day.
Okay. So we're at the point where we have those 12. Fasching is there.
Gunther, we got Gunther from WWE when he's not having a match for the IC title in a suit. Ross Johnson and Fasching.
And Ross Johnson. Okay. So one of
those three is getting cut.
One of those people has to go, right? You're going to have 2 extras.
You got to have 2 extra forwards.
It has to be
Defensive-wise, you got Romanov, Pulak, Pellick, Dobson, Aho, Mayfield, Bolduc, and Ledoux. Ledoux is gone,
Ledoux's gone, right? Bolduc 7.
and Bolduc will probably be in the suite with
Okay.
the 2 forwards.
So the question is, why is Anders Lee on the third line?
Because Pajot and Lee played together towards the end of the year, and they had chemistry. And also, before Wahlstrom got hurt, he was playing with Pajot, and there was some chemistry there. So they're trying to see if that 3 can kind of like sync, and also it gives you. Also, you can't put Horvat and Lee together.
Why not?
Because it's the same player. The only difference is Horvat can skate better. That's really the only difference.
He's not fast enough to keep up with Lee.
Neither of them are fast enough to keep up with Barzal.
No, but at least, I mean, Horvat played with Elias Pettersson. He knows how to keep up with fast people. I just don't. I'm fine with him.
I think Barzal needs more of a shooter than a guy who can just stand in front of the net, which Horvat can do.
Lee is.
But Lee's not a shooter. He's in front of the net guy.
Okay, so then we don't have that person.
But we do. Horvat can do that. In the offense, if they're in the offensive zone, Horvat can do that. But the advantage of Horvat is he can also move into the circles and move around with the puck.
Then
Lee can't.
What is Holmstrom's role?
10 days till opening day.
If anything, why not put Wahlstrom?
I thought you were about to go Hudson Fasching on the first line, and I was like, "Let's go, let's just do it."
Listen, I'd be fine with that too. You want
he's as useless as Holmstrom. Let's go.
Listen, it would not be as useless as Holmstrom. I don't know if he still does this to this day, but there was a time and place when Zach Hyman, who is currently on the Oilers, was on the Leafs, and he was playing with Matthews and Marner, and he just went and fucked people up and fought the puck out of the corner and said, "Here, idiots, take the puck. I'm just going to run around." That's what Hudson Fasching needs to do, because Zach Hyman does that now for Connor McDavid. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, but the problem with those teams is they don't have, anything else other than one guy.
What they should do is put Wahlstrom on the first line, put Fasching in that spot, and Holmstrom's on the bench, and that's it.
First round pick, Simon Holmstrom, Hudson Fasching for Willie Nylander. Willie Nylander gets that first spot.
Okay,
first time.
Man, you want to make that trade, man?
Call up Toronto. Lou, know your boys.
Are we splitting up Pellick and Pulak again?
Because they felt, and Lambert actually said this, they felt they lost traction on defense last year when they were together on other lines. So they want to kind of keep them apart until do one of those third period, put them on the line late in the game. You put them together. When you're benching guys, they're the guys who get it. When Aho doesn't play anymore with 5 minutes left in the game,
you just rolling 5 guys basically.
You're rolling those 2 out there. Those 2 are never leaving the ice, so they're just they're rotating with each other for every 2 seconds.
Pulak needs to play more like himself in the regular season. When we came to the playoffs, he became himself again out of nowhere. So I don't know why. I don't know what happened the first 82 games of the season. And Pellick was hurt a little bit, and it took him a while to come back.
See, my other thing was Dobson had a really bad year playing with younger guys. And they were looking for him to take on more of a leadership role, and he doesn't. I like Noah Dobson. I think he's a good player. But I don't think he's a leadership guy. Think about who he's played better with. Chara, Andy Green. He's played better with those guys who can conduct him.
I don't disagree. But
so I think Pulak could be that guy because you don't really have another guy. And also, if you put him with Romanov, it's basically the same player playing defense. They're the same guy. One just speaks better English.
A stay-at-home guy, which Romanov is a little bit more of a stay. That's when he flourished.
Pellick is a stay-at-home guy.
He obviously, yes. So, but he's playing with Romanov, isn't he?
Pulak is with Romanov. Pellick is with Dobson.
Then I don't absolutely hate that, because that was when they were at their peak. I was thinking about this earlier. It was very clearly a more offensive guy and a more like it was obviously Pellick and Pulak. Like they're both pretty balanced, but Pulak because of his shot is a little more offensive. But then
Right.
it was like Taze and Mayfield at their peaks, right? Scotty staying home and Taze is gonna go off. Then they put Letty with Scotty, and again same thing. Scotty staying home.
You know
And
what I
then
just? Oh, I did say Mayfield. I was gonna say, did I say Mayfield's name?
he's on the
I was like,
third
we
pair.
did sign him. Oh, perfect. Him and Aho. Great defensive pairing right there.
But again, that's the
goats.
same thing where Aho can go more roam a little bit and Scotty will stay home. Dobson
They should both
needed,
just stay home at their houses and not play for the New York Islanders and call it a day. That's the way they. That's how those two should play.
Might need a babysitter, so putting him with Pellick might not be the worst idea. Because you're right, he did do his best when he was with Chara, who stayed at home because he can't move, and Andy Green, who also stayed at home because he couldn't move.
And the biggest problem right now is they're looking at Dobson as, okay, now can you take on that role of you're the vet, help the younger guys. But the question is, who's younger than him on the defense?
Isn't he the youngest one?
I'm pretty sure maybe Aho.
I don't know. He needs to learn how to run a power play, which he did not learn how to do.
You mean he didn't spend all offseason learning how to run a power play?
I hope he did.
I hope he learned anything during.
I don't know.
I wonder if his girlfriend knows how to run a power play. She's a nice girl.
I've seen they're a very similar team as last year, which they made the playoffs last year, even though it was with a pretty low point total for playoff standards. So, I don't know.
Aho 96, Bullock was 2000. Dobson's also 2000. Aho was born in 96. He's old as shit.
So he's 23 probably if his birthday or he's 22.
Mayfield was born in 92.
No, Dobson.
I know. Mayfield 92, Pellick 94, Pulak 94, and Romanov 2000. So Romanov and Dobson are the youngest. Oh, and Toronto could have Robin Salo also because he's just disappeared.
What happened to that guy? I really thought he was going to be something.
Oh, the power play lines was Dobson with Barzell, Horvat, Nelson, and Palmieri rotating with Wallstrom. And the second power play line was Aho leading the way with Guther, Pajot, Engvall, and Andersley.
That might be the worst power play unit I've ever heard. Man. I don't.
We're going to focus on it this year.
Here's
Lambert
the thing.
said he's going to be more involved in the power play this year.
Okay, that's good for him. It sounds like a horrible plan.
Listen, let's send everybody to the minors. Maybe we'll actually be able to develop somebody now that Brent Thompson's not the coach there for after the last 20 years.
I really think if we're going to run a second power play like that, just put Ryan Pulak out there and go back to the days when the plan was just let him shoot.
Pulak shoots, Lee stands in front of it and takes a beat.
That's the plan. It's going to be out there for 30 seconds, and that's all you get. You have to set him up. He's going to miss the net 1 out of 5 times.
He's going to Fulton Reed the shit out of that.
He's going to Fulton Reed it. He broke Anders Lee's leg one time doing this, but we're running it back.
We're running it back. Oh,
give it another shot.
We're doing it again. We're running it back. What's up, Danny?
Nothing much. Been better. How's it going?
So, did you get to click on the David Robinson pitching in the 4th inning?
No, I just got off the call.
He literally turned it on, and Ben was like, David Robinson's pitching in the 4th inning. So I turned it on, and he gave up a home run in the next pitch I saw.
Because their starter gave up runs, and they're
because Lewis, when you're down 1-0 in a 3-game series, you take your starter out and you waste your bullpen, so you don't have him for game 3 if you come back and win the second game.
So they wanted to use one of their better relievers, and JT Richie Realmuto hit one that still hasn't landed yet.
Oh.
In fairness to
They're
that,
gonna make a run, aren't they?
In fairness to that comment,
maybe
in Philly there isn't really a ball that lands.
No.
No.
But Aaron
I mean,
Nola,
Reyes hit the third deck in Philly.
Aaron Nola's in the process of possibly blowing it. There's 2 people on base in the 5th inning with 1 out.
Who's the manager of the Marlins? Who is that guy? Is that Skip Schumacher?
It is Skip Schumacher.
He looks so angry.
Yeah, he doesn't look
Every
happy.
time they show
It's like
him, he's
Gabe
just angry.
Kapler.
Like, guy.
That guy, Gabe Kapler, always looked angry.
Yeah.
When I went to the Mets-Giants game earlier in the year, Gabe Kapler went out to talk to the umpire after an inning to ask a question, yelling. And I was like, nothing happened, guy. What are you doing out
Just
here?
an angry dude.
I'm
that's
like, guy,
probably why he got
what are we
fired.
yelling at? And they didn't throw him out. They were just like, we don't know why you're yelling at us, Gabe.
Your name is Gabe.
More importantly, what are the Brewers doing? Are they about to get? They're losing 5-2.
They're losing 5-2. They're about to get swept. We're only doing
Craig,
sweeps this year.
we're like a week away from Craig Counsell being our manager.
It's a double play. Yeah, we're only doing sweeps
There
this year,
has
boys.
to, I can't wait for us to get called with tampering. This is like this is like the Jalen Brunson thing all over again.
It doesn't make any sense.
Did you hear his comment though? He
Who?
said they asked him about it, and he said, "Well, technically, when the Brewers season's over, I'm not under contract. I can go talk to whoever I want."
It is very interesting. Counsell or Stearns?
His foot's already
Counsell.
out the door.
Yeah, I mean, no wonder they're going to lose.
Well, they're about to get swept, so yeah, they already know as soon as they announced Stearns on Monday.
They even said it. Like, I'm pretty sure Steve Cohen said in that press conference that it was Stearns' decision to fire Buck. So, but he wasn't hired yet when they fired
But
Buck.
he wasn't working, I think. There was something that was like he wasn't technically still with the Brewers.
Does anybody run the Brewers right now?
No.
Bob Uecker still runs the Brewers.
I think that's it. I think he's in charge. I think
Can we also go
and the
back to
mascot
biggest
are in
thing on
charge.
social- Could we just talk about thing on social media? Look, Greg Counsell. I just turned a game on. It's literally writing, "Someone find out flight times to New York."
Yeah, this is
We
like
wrote it on
Lincoln,
the
this
bill.
is like Lincoln Riley playing for Oklahoma, and they're like, no, I'm staying here. I'm staying here. Then literally the next hour, it went all over Twitter. He's joining USC as their new head coach. This is
very
awkward.
college head coach is.
This is awkward.
Also, the biggest story right now on like baseball social media wise is why is Marlins man in Milwaukee when your team is playing in Philly?
Yeah,
So-
that's weird.
He booked it when they were going to play the Brewers.
I'm sorry, you're Marlins man. You have enough money.
If you have that much money to go to that many games behind the plate, you can change your flight.
I know. But he bought tickets and whatever. But he was because they were supposed to play.
Okay, so give away the tickets for charity or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Very weird. Fishy to me, sir.
So who else are we getting? Who else? We're doing a draft day style takeover of the Brewers. We're just going to.
So who else do we want? I think we got
Corbin
everybody.
Bones.
Yeah, we got to trade for Corbin Burns, and I think
Corbin Bones, Christian Yelich for.
No, Yelich is getting a little washed up though.
No, I'm okay with keeping. You know what? If
Yeah,
we're
but
really
I'd rather Yelich over Marte. So give them Marte.
Fair.
Marte can't even
really
keep his
gonna-
groin in one place.
go for the jugular. We haven't been happy with Howie's partners or replacements.
Bob Uecker.
Let's just bring Bob Uecker in, throw him in a radio booth.
You know what?
We're
Can you
good.
imagine Howie and Bob Uecker calling that game?
great.
Oh my God.
I'll give Keith a benefit of the doubt. He was doing the Brooklyn Cyclones. That's like a 4 level.
That is a big. That's he did
like
go from
3
Brooklyn to-
people and a couple people with autism listening to the Cyclones games, and then you're in the New York Mets, like the big leagues. It's I get it.
I just
And
miss when they had Josh Lewin and Howie. They had
Yeah.
a good rapport.
Yeah,
And it's kind of I love Wayno, but it's kind of
I like Wayne in his 1940s. Hey, she.
Yeah.
I missed that.
He is a bit. He does look like he should be. He sounds like he should be wearing a bowler cap and a suit.
Listen, the idea also at this point is finding that next guy for Howie at this point. So it's like,
I'm
is the guy who does MLB The Show still the guy who did the old guy who did MLB Fish? What's his name? Matt Van.
Scourgeon?
Scourgeon?
I'm pretty sure he does the
Is he-
Giants.
Oh,
most
I thought he was the
positive.
Brewers guy.
Or the
Or
Angels.
the Padres. Oversee the Padres. I think it was the Padres.
No,
Well,
the
he's
Padres
not-
guy is good though.
He's not the Angels because that's Randazzo now.
Oh, you're right. I don't know.
Currently, the Angels broadcaster.
Yeah. Okay.
2001 and 2002. Matt Van Scherzen is working for the Angels. What does Wayne do? Is he their guy?
Say that again. Randazzo is their main
Randazzo
play. Yeah, he's their main play-by-play guy. That's why. That's why he left the Mets because there's like,
Yeah,
great
but
it's
it
a
says
TV
here
job.
on that Van Scherzen is also the Angels TV guy.
I
Oh,
think
okay.
that
For the 2000. Oh, okay, never mind. He was demoted to second fiddle, Van Scherzen, because of like Friday nights when Randazzo's not there.
Right.
He
So
calls
he's
the games.
basically doing Kenny Albert on Friday Night Knicks when Breen is doing ESPN.
Is on
radio.
ESPN. Yeah. Did they keep Breen at ESPN?
Yeah,
think so.
he's the only one they kept, and it's gonna
Okay.
be Doris Burke and Doc Rivers.
oh jeez.
Could
I'm
be
not gonna
good.
be able to listen to Doc Rivers.
That was a reaction to Doc Rivers. I just
Yeah. Doris Burke is good. I like Doris.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see. Maybe he's good, but his raspy voice is gonna get really tiring.
I'm not gonna be a big fan of Doc. I don't think.
And then there's rumors that Jackson is going to fill in for Clyde a couple games this year.
Who?
How many
Mark Jackson?
How many games is
Oh,
it going
Mark
to take?
Jackson.
How many games is it going to take the Knicks to look that bad that people want Thibodeau fired and Mark Jackson to coach the team?
Oh, it's gonna be quick.
Oh, he's
mean-
working for the team now. Hey,
Mark Jackson is the Wally Backman.
I mean, if he
of the
wasn't
Knicks.
if he wasn't that weird Christian guy, he would have already had a job.
Yeah.
it
Although
was just so weird that they just let him go.
maybe the Knicks should hire Wally Backman now.
Oh, I saw that. I didn't want to feel like making that joke in the group chat.
I'm just saying. Ducks fired him for a reason.
You brought up the Knicks, so Danny put in our chat about how the great James Dolan does not want to run the team anymore.
Oh, what are we doing? What are they...
Did you see the bigger news about that though?
Oh
And
yeah,
how there's
Magic.
only one person who would run the New York Knicks, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but he's been a pretty successful sports owner so far.
Yeah, 1-for-1 so far, and then we'll see
Doesn't
what
he
the
have no? He has a stake in someone else. He just got.
the Commanders.
Oh yeah,
He just
he's
just
got
got
the
a
Dodgers and the Commanders. So
Correct.
keep coming east, a little north from Washington, buddy.
And I say this over and over again: if the Knicks ever win a championship, the city will burn down.
Yes.
Yeah. It's really the only.
And you know when it's
team-
going to happen?
Because it's the
year
only
after
team that
Dolan
doesn't
sells.
have that extra team. Granted,
Right.
they've
It's
been
the
around
Nets
for-
don't count. If
even
you
though
were
they've
to break,
been around for 12 years, it's crazy to think
right.
that.
If you broke down the percentages of the percentage of people in the city that root for the
Oh,
teams,
the Knicks are the only.
it's
team.
like 90-10. The rest are like.
I would
Mets
go
and
more
Yankees
like
probably
75-15 because you had a lot of people. Even my dad was like, "I'm born
Yeah,
in Brooklyn. That's my team."
My dad was like that too.
Okay.
But
I'll give it 80-20.
yeah, and then the rest are like 60-40.
I would say 60-40.
It really-
yeah.
It's mostly whichever team is playing well. That's who you're
70-30.
watching.
Yeah,
That's who most of the fan base. Like
Evan
again,
Neal.
there's people like Danny who's Knicks all the way,
Yeah.
but like there's other people that it's like,
No,
all right, the
of course.
Nets are good.
But that's
That's
the thing.
my
like,
team now.
The Nets were. I'm going to say they were the team because it never worked. But player-wise, they were the team.
yeah, that it was
And
funny. like,
nobody cared.
nationally, it was a topic every night. But if you went on WFAN and it wasn't Evan,
It was
or
how did the
Keith,
Knicks get better?
Right.
So
It took baseball starting for Kyrie to be able to play at home because of the vaccine. It
yeah,
took.
well,
Oh, Aaron Judge might not be able to play. We're changing this.
we're fixing this.
Yeah, we're getting this wrapped up
Anthony
in 2 seconds.
Rizzo might. We need to get Anthony Rizzo. out
Right.
there.
We can't. We needed Max Scherzer to make all his starts. I don't know if his. I just picked his name. I don't know.
Oh, I wonder why then.
Can you believe that the Texas Rangers just went out and beat the effing shit out of the Rays
No,
with
Not
no
at all.
pitching.
not at all. Yeah,
Yeah, but the Rays have no
awesome.
pitching either.
My in-laws bought tickets by home plate today for 130 combined total.
Torture
The
tickets.
Royals had more fans at their last regular season game than postseason game.
I actually got to text Sam and see how it went.
Yeah,
If it went as bad as I assumed.
I did see people were like, well, it was a 3
You're trying
o'clock
to build
game.
a new stadium for your team,
Oh,
and you don't even show up in the postseason.
Yeah.
They said, well, it was a 3 o'clock game, and then somebody posted the attendance for the Met Dodger game that John Maine started in 2006, where it was a sellout at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, to be fair, that was also Shea, so that was gonna out.
I know, but like
But yeah,
anywhere,
I agree.
3 o'clock game.
And also, the Mets were the best team in baseball that season.
That is true. I don't know why I brought that up. It's just going to be it.
The Rays should have been in April. The World Series parade was in Tampa.
Well,
when they
true.
won
They
like
had
the
a
first
little
like 30
bigger-
games.
they had bigger fish to fry.
You know, if they had a better shortstop right now.
They had some. I wonder where he is.
He's in some
I'm
Dominican
just
jail getting railed.
Oh, poor guy.
Oh, yeah. What?
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
we got... No, Steve. Sarcasm.
I think it's probably not going well for Wander Franco right now. But it was funny that I think it was like last week, 2 weeks ago, Steve, you sent the article that was like Rays trying to prepare for playoffs without Wander Franco. I was like, they should start preparing for a lot longer than the playoffs.
That was just the writer trying to have a positive spin and knowing that he can't bring that up more, that it's going to be a bigger issue. But didn't they bring up their top
being like, "Oh, you're gonna click on this, you dumbasses."
Yep.
I don't know. The Rays just, build people in a lab over there.
Well, they can't.
Who's the guy who looks like the guy from Peaky Blinders? I mean, we have plenty of shortstops.
Oh, Guess now. Yeah,
Guess
Guess now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
who
another
actually
one.
pitched pretty good.
You know, that was the first time ever the Devil Rays were in the playoffs.
Oh, they wore the Devil Rays.
They wore the Devil Rays. It looked good.
For game one, they wore the
It's
Devil
really-
Rays jerseys, and it
it's
didn't
really
really.
an
And they
underrated-
played like the Devil Rays.
If they wear it enough times, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Postseason. I don't think that's a postseason jersey,
I
especially
don't
since
mind
it's
it.
not your team anymore.
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it, but I don't think it's I don't think it's postseason.
Brings back fond memories of losing.
I was a
Wade
Devil Ray in
Boggs.
1998.
Wade Boggs and
Yeah.
The green ones. I like those green. Remember the green
Rocco
ones? when they were
Baldelli.
Rocco Baldelli. Yeah.
cool? Rocco Baldelli was in the green ones.
Wade Boggs. I already said him.
Jerry
Who else?
Blevins.
Lou
why am I
Piniella out there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Big Lou was.
That was
running
because he
shit.
probably lived in Tampa or Clearwater, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'll do it."
Yeah, that was like community service.
Was it Eric Young? Eric Young? What was it? Delman Young
Delman Young. Yep.
Delman Young.
was the roid head on that team.
What's old Lou up to these days?
It's probably
Fred
chilling.
McGriff.
Fred McGriff. Kaseko, wasn't Kaseko on that for a minute?
Lou Piniella.
Kaseko was there for a minute.
What's the
Basically,
last
anybody
thing?
that was about to retire, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you can come."
The last thing he did was manage the Cubs until 2010.
That's right.
I forgot about that.
I remembered that now when she said it.
Won a Manager of the Year in 2008 with them.
John Flaherty. So their first season.
John Flaherty.
John Flaherty catcher, Fred McGriff first base, Miguel Cairo was second base,
Whoa.
Kevin Stocker was shortstop, Bob Smith at third, Mike Kelly, Quentin McCracken was their center.
Oh yeah, dude, I like that.
Again,
All-time name.
All-time guy.
All-time name.
Martinez, their right fielder.
Who?
Wade Boggs. Randy Wynn was on this team.
Okay.
Randy
I
Wynn.
don't-
Mike
I don't-
DeFleece was on this team.
I don't know how this expansion draft went that they wind up with all these. I would have to. Not today. I would have to look into that.
Bubba Tramble. We forgot about
Bubba.
Wow. 2 years
We would-
before becoming.
we
a
would
fan.
trade
Roberto
for him.
Hernandez was on this team.
we would trade for him too. A lot of future Mets going on here.
Oof.
Rick White.
Rick White
Rick
was
White.
on.
That was the guy with the goatee that looked like
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
He was Stone Cold.
Esteban Yan is on this team.
They were so
Basically
bad.
it.
Victor Zambrano probably is hanging around there somewhere.
He's
They literally
lurking.
took the
We
Moneyball
have-
movie and
we
were
have
like,
five-
we need to get
we
guys
have
who get on base.
5 more years, then complete meltdown, and Rick Peterson goes, "We can fix him." And then he comes walking out in a winter jacket in 99-degree weather, and me and Steve are like, "What are you doing, you freak? How aren't you how aren't you dying?"
How are
We're
you
like-
not collapsing at the foul line?
It's like, what, you have like the air conditioning like right next to you, like weird.
You probably had one of those fans like inside the thing.
Yeah.
Santana's up with 2 on and nobody.
Although
on.
Buck did the same thing.
No, he had the windbreaker. That's why they gave out the windbreaker. That's
Yeah.
why they didn't fire him, because they already canceled the Matt Scherzer sunglasses, so they don't want to cancel another giveaway.
He just didn't want to wear a jersey, so he put the windbreaker on. I think that was the Rick Peterson thing. They just don't want to wear a jersey.
Imagine
All right, you
having
want-
all of those.
2 picks.
Let's
So
do it.
talk some
So some
football. as we do
football?
picks.
We suck. We know we suck, and it's going to be a long season.
I'm sorry. I really am, guys.
No, you're not. Fuck you. Okay.
Let's just look at the bright side. We don't have to watch Amazon Prime this week.
No, but I will because I'm
There's
sick.
there's a bright side?
The Bears and the Commanders are
Commanders.
playing.
No, absolutely not.
I am sick enough to watch it.
Daniel, there's anything you can watch. Did you start Ahsoka yet? You could watch Ahsoka.
No, I haven't actually. Is that good?
I heard that it's good.
You didn't even see it
How
yet.
is
Why are you
Ahsoka?
busting my balls?
I watched 2 episodes. That's more than you've watched.
Oh, what?
You're busting my
Oh, the
balls.
Star
and
Wars show.
You're busting my
Ahsoka, it's
balls.
called.
and
Yes.
You watched 2 episodes.
I watched 2 episodes. I heard the next couple. They're
Also-
great. Haven't gotten there yet.
Also, Thursday night is Loki debut.
Yeah,
Nice.
you can watch Loki tomorrow.
Oh, that's tomorrow? Okay.
Yeah, it comes out
Thursday
9
night
o'clock.
at 9.
All right. About time. About time we figure that out. That's
Right. So
good.
they did. I was telling Steven, they did that with Ahsoka, that they
Yeah, I
released it at
noticed
like
that.
9 o'clock at night.
About
But
time.
we just didn't realize because neither of you watch Star Wars.
That's not. I watch Star Wars.
I know you do.
I still
Of
gotta
course,
watch
here we go.
Andor.
Mark
I
Canna's
still-
about to hit a game-tying
I
home
still
run.
gotta watch. I still gotta see Andor.
Me too. I'm behind on that as well. So we're in the same spot.
Yeah.
Yo, Mark Canna's been fucking great for them, by the way.
Good for them.
Like he's hitting
And
leadoff
he's
every
he's
day. Well,
genuinely
Well,
a
he's
good
their
dude.
cleanup hitter in this game, Vin.
He's
he was hitting
genuinely-
leadoff every day.
He was generally a good dude, so I'm rooting
Yeah.
for him.
No problem for. I'm trying to figure out like what. Like I don't want
So
the
Craig
Phillies to
Counsell
win.
doesn't wear a jersey
No.
either, by the way, guys.
He's got a
Just so you
shirt.
know.
I don't think a
sleeves,
manager
which-
actually does. I don't think one manager does anymore.
I'm sure somebody. Yeah, we'll find somebody.
No.
So
see, like, that
before
whole
we
Jets
get
coach thing's
into
weird.
picks, hold on. I need to send this to myself to bring on the screen for you boys. This is, of course, boo-doo-doo. He wears the Bill Parcells. He's got the Bill Parcells hoodie on with the sleeves.
You mean
Just-
Belichick?
Belichick, yeah.
The Belichick, yeah.
Yeah.
The Belichick. That
You got to
what's
cut
his name?
those sleeves, even though the sleeves are short. That way, you got to cut them a little bit so it just you see the ripped seams. That's the real
So-
Belichickian.
We found out who the idiot is on the offensive line this season. His name is Evan Neal.
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring this up. Yep.
So here is the apology note.
Classic notes.
Oh God.
For those who didn't know, who are listening to the show later on, did Mark Hanna just blew it? Good for Mark Hanna.
We're kind of getting hits.
Bases loaded now. Christian Yelin's on third, by the way, Danny. Just saying.
Evan Neal.
So Evan Neal lashed
said-
out and said, "People need to shut up about me. Go back to flipping burgers." Is basically what he said.
Yeah, and he doesn't consider himself to listen to what the sheep said because he's a lion. But
Yeah, he gave
in
that
the
classic
video,
one.
So-
he was blocking Darren Waller. That's right. Darren Waller is on his team.
Are you sure about that?
I don't even know if Darren Waller was on his team because Darren Waller catches 3 balls a game and then,
To be
just
fair,
vanishes.
he did have to. He didn't really do a good job about it. Obviously, the whole line didn't. Daniel Jones just got hit again, but he did have to stay back and chip and block.
I was
Best part about being home is I was asleep by sack 8.
that we
Yeah.
gave Daniel Jones weapons. I was told.
Yeah,
We did. We just need to give him the time to get to those weapons. That's the problem.
Yeah, we.
But
I
we'll
was
go into that. So
also-
Evan Neal wrote his apology iPhone note. Apology.
Those always hit hard.
I was told we were
and he
past
wrote, "I am
staring
wrong for
down
lashing
those
out.
weapons for 45 seconds.
I am wrong for lashing out at the fans who are just passionate and frustrated as I am. I let my frustrations in my play plus desire to win to get the best of me. I had no right to make light of anyone's job, and I deeply regret the things I said. We are working day in and day out to grow as a team, and this was an unnecessary distraction. I apologize." In my opinion, that has Nick Saban sent him that and said, "Hey, buddy."
I was just gonna say good job. I was gonna say good job, Pat Hanlon, damage controlling that situation. So,
But he probably called Saban and was like, "Hey, can you write him a note like you did in college all those years?" And
oh man, we're such a clown show.
If we're gonna call Saban, we should probably call Saban and be like,
no,
"What did you do to him?" Because he used to be able to block.
he had 4 other really good players on.
That's
along him.
what happened.
Honestly, I think we
He
should.
didn't have Matt Pert coming in as tight end and standing
this
20
year.
feet.
This year he could be the right tackle, but next year we have to move him to guard and figure something out. Or he finds a way to be better at tackle, and we don't have to do anything.
I mean, if you're gonna move him, just move him now.
I mean, then have Matt Pert play right tackle, which I mean, I don't know. Thank God I don't have this job. But yeah, we suck again. But I've been saying it. This has been having 2017 vibes all over again, and it's proving
Not great.
Not great. Not great, Bob.
That's not great.
So I was talking to Nikki, and I was praying to God that we were going to get flexed in 2 weeks when we go up to Buffalo. That's not happening.
They don't flex that, or they don't flex.
No, they
this
do
early.
start week 5 this year.
But there's
No,
nothing
it's
else
one of those like
to flex.
There was some sort of thing with it. They came out with the rule a couple of years ago. You're allowed to flex, but you have to lock in another game later in the year.
Regardless.
In October, you're allowed to flex as long as you lock in a game, as long as you agree not to flex out a starting game later in the season.
That makes sense. Regardless,
which can screw you.
Regardless, the only good game that would have been flexed, but it wasn't going to get flexed because another night to show Josh Allen do what he does, was Lions Bucks. So that wasn't going to.
No. So you're going to get Josh Allen, and you're going to get the New York market. So
just the next 2 weeks is going to be lovely.
What
Did you guys? I also wanted to bring this part up. Did you guys see they changed the transfer portal rules today?
No, I missed that.
I didn't see that.
So they approved a new transfer portal, changing the gap. They're going to be 2 different portals, and they're going to be you'll have, instead of 60 days to decide, you have 45. So you'll have less time to decide during the 2 gaps.
Okay.
The 45-day window is effective in all sports and will be placed, blah, blah, blah. College football will have 2 different windows as it did prior to these changes, but now there'll be less time for the players to enter their names in the portal after the season.
It's just basically free agency.
So instead of 45 days after the conclusion of regular season, find that as the day after the college football playoffs and bowl participants are announced.
Okay.
There will now be 30 days for players to enter their name into the thing. The spring
you have 30
transfer
days
portal
from the
opened for
end
15
of the championship
No.
to go
It's
in the portal.
30 days after the bowls are announced, basically.
Oh,
They're going to let the bowls and the playoffs get announced, and then you could decide.
got it. So,
But then there's another one in April that's only for 15 days.
okay.
And they could also contact other schools and transfer at any time without penalty once they've entered the portal. So basically, they're going to shorten the portal. At the end of the day, they need I was talking to Vin about this. Fucking Bo Nix in Oregon literally took over for Cam Newton in Auburn. Like,
Yeah. Who was the
wow.
other guy we were talking? Spencer.
Brewers stink.
Spencer Rattler.
Spencer Rattler. It's been
Well,
forever.
Well, Hartman at Notre Dame, it's his 6th season. So,
and like again,
Yeah, but
I
some
get
of these
that
guys,
some of
I
these
give
are
them the
COVID
COVID year.
the
Right.
COVID year, and then he got hurt like twice.
But
It's just still funny. Like, this guy should be in the NFL theoretically. And
There
he's
were
just
players that are starting in
up.
college that are older than the rookies that are in the NFL.
right.
like I was saying, like I think Jordan Love is a year older than Bo Nix, and Jordan Love's been in the league for 3 years already.
I remember
Cam Newton retired while Bo Nix has been in college.
Right.
I remember Bo Nix at Auburn winning that whatever big game that was, and that was in 2018 because I was in Boston for the Mets game.
He didn't win. He wasn't the big kick return game, was he? The Iron Bowl?
No.
That was like a year or two before that.
I don't think.
No, he would have never left Auburn if that was the case.
That was 2013. Okay, I was way before. That was before Cam even.
No, that was after Cam.
Yeah,
That was
When did Cam get drafted? 20.
Cam?
He won they went to the Super Bowl in 2015.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was way
exactly. What does that tell you?
Because it's whenever they went to the BCS, one of the BCS.
2011, I think he was the.
Yeah, no, it was 2011.
He was drafted in the 2011 draft.
Oh yeah, so 2010.
2011 draft.
So 2010 college football season. Right. 2012 was RG3 and Luck.
Right.
That was 2019, 21 in Auburn, and has been in Oregon since.
All right, let's
do picks.
But still,
jump
like
back.
they gotta lower, limit how many times you could even go in the portal.
maybe.
You know, you're supposed to be in college for 4 years, not 10 playing football.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna skip the first game and put the
Oh,
Commanders.
God.
The Phillies
Marlins are kicking the ball around now. I mean, it's just.
Well, they have a guy named Berger.
He's been good, that guy, apparently.
Well, that didn't really look too good there.
No, he hits well. I don't.
Yeah, I'm going Commanders. The Manders. I'm
Going.
I'm still mad at Ron Rivera. What a horrible excuse at the end of that game too.
Yeah.
When he said our offense was exhausted, so we went for the extra point instead of going for 2. So let's have our exhausted offense possibly win a coin toss and get back on the field and play a whole nother 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Genius. Go for the 2, go for the win. You don't win, then guess what? You get to go sleep on the plane.
It's a dangerous move. It's not always good having a riverboat nickname.
And who was it? Somebody this week brought that up and was like, "This is the type of things you're supposed to do. This is this is who you are."
That's how we got here. I thought. I suppose not. I'm taking the Bills. The Jaguars look like poopy. Speaking of poopy, the Phillies just hit a grand slam.
No.
So that's not ending anytime soon.
They're gonna beat the Braves, and it's just gonna be annoying again.
That's really all I need is for the Braves to lose. I don't care if the Phillies keep going. I'm really okay with it. The Braves need to lose.
Bryce was on the Nationals World Series team, right?
No. Bryce left the year before they went to the World Series.
Oh, okay. Why do I feel like he was on that team?
No, he was Soto and Rendon and I guess Strasburg and Verlander, Scherzer.
The Brewers have a guy named Miguel pitching who's actually pitching pretty well right now.
That's his brother.
Oh, he's a trade for that guy.
Yeah.
Could we flop McGill's? Maybe you can pull that one off.
We're gonna flop McGill's.
We're gonna flop McGill's.
I mean, look at him. He's just as big.
I didn't want to say that it was his brother.
I think his name is close too. It's like I don't want to say it's Trevor, but it might be Trevor.
Trevor.
Yeah, Trevor. I think it's his brother.
Just remember, it is. It's a McGill brothers.
Yeah, I thought so. I was pretty sure that Mama McGill had a couple of them.
Good for her. By the way, Vincent, Texas is 50% back. I forgot to tell you earlier.
Okay, so they're just my disappointment with that website is I wanted them to be dramatic.
At 100. You beat them. You're at 100.
Dramatic. But they're just going.
This Saturday is it?
No, but like
this is the game. Like if you beat Oklahoma, you're 100.
But they're just going like if they win, it's going to be 60%.
Even though they're better than Oklahoma.
And if they win, it's going to be 70. It's just going to go up like 10% with the amount of wins.
They just can't have that
shit after Oklahoma.
They just can't have that hiccup game.
And this is the game where you have that big hiccup game. That's
yeah, to a point, yeah. It's that big rivalry game, but I mean the rest of the way if they win.
I'm guessing that's the noon game on Fox.
Yeah, that's always usually the noon game.
I would say so is the Michigan Ohio State game, but next season apparently it's not.
Unless Colorado plays again. I think Colorado has been on that game for
so at noon on Fox is Maryland, Ohio State.
Oh, so we were way off. So it's on ABC. Okay.
ABC is the Big 12 game.
That was my second guess.
I know Michigan's Saturday night.
Oh, okay. On NBC.
Yeah. In Missouri?
They're playing Missouri?
In Minnesota, sorry. Not Missouri.
Yeah, these primetime games have been very lackluster, like matchup-wise. It's like Amazon Prime level.
We don't have a time for Penn State in a couple of weeks, so I'm highly predicting.
That's 100% going to be it.
I think it's a home game too, if I remember correctly.
Penn State whiteout?
No, they already had it.
They had their whiteout this year, which makes me believe we're hosting.
By the way, I love Franklin.
Oh, no, we're going to there in November. Oh, it's already actually at noon. It's already at noon.
You're a fan of Franklin?
Yeah, because he's backdoor covered my bets twice this year that they had no business doing, and they already were up enough in the game. They were the anti.
So he's just running the score up.
He's the anti Patrick Mahomes.
Got it.
Danny, did you see what almost made me off myself today?
Yeah, I saw the
interview in Michigan State.
Oh, Urban? Yeah, whatever. He'll have a heart attack or he'll have a meltdown in like a year and he'll be
Harbaugh's just going to send strippers to his hotel.
He'll get good. They'll lose a big game and then he'll have the heart attack.
Right.
You have to wait until you need
I got rid of him. I got rid of him. He's out of my life. He's supposed to be out of my life.
No, but he is. He doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
The best was when there was
exposed.
Whatever game it was they lost when he wasn't the coach anymore, but he was still on the sideline and he still looked like he had a heart attack.
Can we say how awful that documentary was?
I wouldn't say it was awful. I just felt like you were going to hear a lot more shit.
Right.
You were going to hear there should have been more shit.
Right.
That's the reason why he's going back to Michigan State. They're like, it wasn't that bad, guys.
I didn't watch it because I heard they didn't go as in depth as they should.
No, they did not.
So I just didn't bother watching it.
I mean, in fairness, they didn't really want to go into the Aaron Hernandez stuff. I get that. But there's plenty of other shit you could have went into. But the fact that they all went out drinking every night. Okay, no shit.
I heard they hardly even mentioned Cam and he was on the team.
Yeah, no, they didn't obviously mention him stealing laptops.
They mentioned it, but they pushed it off to. They're like, he stole.
They're like, oh, by the way, Cam was on the team for literally half the season, and then he got in trouble, and then he went to Auburn. And then they called him.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Scam Newton.
The hype for that was way too much.
Yeah, that was the SEC nickname for him that year. Scam Newton.
There was just too much.
Obviously, Auburn paid an exorbitant amount of money to his dad.
Nope,
never happened.
Did you watch the Baker Mayfield one?
You mean Johnny Manziel?
Johnny Manziel.
Manziel one, yeah.
Yeah. I only saw the clip.
I thought that was
watch
better.
Any film.
Yeah, they embellished that his grandpa was an oil rig guy that we all thought. And he basically embezzled money while he was in college. That was pretty epic.
Lovely.
I thought I learned more about that than I did in the Florida one. The Florida one was just they
Yeah, that
had a
was a
bad
fluff
season, so
piece.
they bounced back. They signed Tebow, they brought Tebow in and bounced back.
Yeah, that was a fluff piece.
Pretty much.
And then the fact that they literally were like, yeah, we sent him an iPad and it never turned on.
Yeah.
The guy never even turned it on.
Well, that's like the Jamarcus Russell one where they gave him a blank tape and told him to watch it,
The
and he came
DVD.
back and he was like, "Yeah, I watched it."
Dude, we
Well, that
didn't
was
have
like,
blank tape.
What was the thing in draft day? The $100, the $10
$100
bill, bill at the end of the playbook,
$100 bill at the end of the playbook.
and Superman gave it back to them.
Superman, of course he did. Superman.
And
All right,
give it back to me when I win.
Let's do
London
this.
Part 2.
Is it London Part 2?
It's
Yes,
London Part 2.
back
Look
to
at
back
the. I
weeks.
mean, let's look at it that way. Maybe they'll be time confused when they play next week. Daniel.
Yeah, that's the only thing. But of course, it's Sunday Night Football, so it doesn't matter.
No,
They have all day.
I'm taking the Bills, even though they're technically on the road.
Yeah.
It's a Jaguars home game.
It's technically a Jaguar home game, but it's listed as a Bills home game.
I
Yeah,
know, but
why?
it's a Jaguar home game.
Yeah, big fan base in London.
Hey, remember when you guys told me the Texans were going to stink?
Yeah.
Guess what?
Well, CJ
Desmond
Stroud.
Ritter's awful.
Oh yeah, I'm going Texans. They are
Desmond
so
Ritter
bad.
stinks, but I was also told by somebody that Ohio State doesn't produce quarterbacks.
Yeah, I heard that from a certain.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
Listen, they've all played well to start. JT Barrett looked good when he played a couple times.
No, he didn't. Who was the three guys that played that year when they all got hurt?
Barrett,
Cardale Jones. Who was the
Cardale
third
Jones,
one?
JT Barrett.
Who was the third one?
There one's. I'm drawing a blank on the.
Was it
Because
Miller?
it was like
Braxton
were the-
Miller. Was it
Braxton Miller went out
Braxton
there.
Miller
and played
was he the middle one or was he the first one?
I think Miller was the first one because the following year he came back and switched.
Right.
Right.
Cardale Jones was
He
the
came
last.
back an extra
Yeah,
year. That
Jones won the
championship. Yeah.
because Miller
crazy.
got hurt that year.
Zeke, that was on the Zeke.
That was one of the Zeke. That was the Zeke year when they remembered to give him the ball.
Right. And also he came back the following year and Myers was like, listen, you have option 1 and option 2, and it's option 1 is you sit on the bench, or option 2 you figure out a different position to
Correct. And then he became a receiver.
Here we go, boys. Paul Sewell in to close out the series.
Yo, bro, Paul Sewell is just good.
He also just plucked Josh Donaldson. So
who's that? Probably
I
should
would
introduce himself. Did you see that story? Did you see that? You hear about that?
no.
I
try to avoid Josh Donaldson.
He showed up, and apparently, jokingly, Rowdy Tellez told him to introduce himself, and he said, "These guys know who I am." I don't know if he was being serious or not, but that's just where we're at. All right, let's finish up.
Okay, I'm going Lions.
Yeah, the Panthers stink. I don't know who's going to play quarterback for them.
Doesn't matter. The Bears are going to have Clyde Williams and whoever else they want next season because both of them they're going to have the top 2 picks.
And they're going to screw them both up.
And they're going to take 2 offensive linemen to protect Justin Fields so they can keep him from the...
Somebody tweeted this as a joke, but I'm legitimately serious. If you're Caleb Williams, you're not losing that much money staying. Like those
Yeah, I
Wendy's
was actually going to bring that
have got to
up.
be paying you a good amount of money.
They said that he would actually make more money staying another year in college.
I saw
than he
that,
would
and
as a rookie.
I thought it was a joke. I think it would still
But it
is
makes
a joke.
sense because
It's also USC.
Right.
all the
But like he's in a national Wendy's commercial. Like we see that here. Yeah, I would stay if I was him.
and he does the Heisman House.
Yeah, I would stay.
That's the coolest thing now that players can do Heisman House and they don't have to like graduate.
Right.
You don't have to be over 40 years old to be on that commercial.
Right. Anyway, Colts. Anthony Richardson's good. Just plain good.
I think
I'm
you're almost at the point of a you need to make the quarterback change just to see if it changes anything.
But
Even though last week they realized they should just give the ball to Derrick Henry and let him do
they
everything.
did. I was listening to a
Who
podcast
would've
today,
thought?
and they were talking about teams that are just in purgatory. They were talking about the Steelers on the show, but the Titans are the same way. It's just like your coach is too good. You're never gonna bottom out, but you're just in purgatory of winning 7 or 8 games.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Josh Donaldson got thrown out at second.
Ha 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 ha.
Well, in fairness, is Marte their shortstop?
There's more Martes than I can count.
Well, whoever's playing shortstop made a nice play, and then he was actually being a smart base runner.
I
The guy-
noticed. No, Marte's
was-
playing second. I don't know who their shortstop is.
Yeah, the shortstop was gonna catch the ball, but he let it drop.
I
Also,
think he
those
just
are real.
dropped it.
That's really he's like just super colorful. That guy.
The shortstop? I think that's Perdomo is his name.
Yeah, that's who it was earlier in the year.
I believe it's still him. Paul
Yeah,
Sewald
it
being
is.
a good relief pitcher,
Actually, makes me really angry.
it hurts. It really does.
Also, Christian Yelich just 0 for 7 with 6 strikeouts against them.
Oh, he was on third base.
well,
that was
against
his
Sewald.
career
Against
against
Sewald.
Seawold.
Oh, okay.
He's
He's
2
got
for
2
4 in
hits
the
today.
game. And
He's
he
got
was on
2
third
hits
base
today.
when the bases were loaded.
But
Okay.
against Sewald. So you're telling me that Mets Paul Sewald consistently got out Marlins Christian Yelich.
Yeah.
I don't know why any of that is relevant
makes
to the
no
current
sense.
situation. But
Yeah.
it's a thing.
Right, because Seawald's been in Seattle for 10 years, and they haven't played each other.
He's been in Seattle for like 3 years now, so it has to be Mets Marlins numbers. Paul Sewald, fucking G.
Yeah, let's just got a hold of one.
Yelich just took him a yard. Now it hit the wall.
Yeah, it just went. That's a pretty bright wall.
It's a very bright wall.
What's the point?
All right,
Tying
time
run is
run
up.
at the plate. Who is it?
Is it Carlos Santana? No, Santana's batting third because Canada's batting fourth. So who's batting second? Who's that other? Who's the first? Who's playing?
What's his fuck? The shortstop. Willie
what's his-
Adames.
It's got to be it, right? Oh, Contreras.
Oh, I forgot about Contreras. Okay.
You remember the one that they changed positions for after paying him $180
No,
million?
that's his brother.
Right.
That's the Cardinal Contreras. This is the Brave Contreras. The Braves decided we don't need 2 catchers, and then they went, oh no, wait, we do need 2 catchers. So they went and got another
Also,
one.
why is this guy's mouth guard connected to his earpiece?
I wasn't even gonna ask. Okay, we got to finish this because the Dolphins are gonna win. I'm sorry. I
Yeah, they're
apologize
gonna
to
get
both
cooked,
of you.
right.
They're gonna cover. It's not gonna be great, but I picked up Wan'Dale Robinson in fantasy, so that's good.
Oh, I picked up Barrios because I have a better feeling that he's going to get the ball a lot more when
I mean,
he becomes the Seawald strikes out mouth guard guy and
Paul
series is
Sewald's
over.
very excited.
Chuck that hat all the way off the field. Should we tell
Anyway.
them that it's a wild card series? So they get
It
to
is-
play the Dodgers.
That's another thing I was thinking of. Somebody were talking about a podcast was how in baseball they just celebrate everything with champagne, and it's like, but it's tradition because it used to be really hard to make the playoffs, right?
Right.
So, like,
it was
whenever you
in the
clinched
80s, there was only
anything-
only 4 teams made the
Correct.
playoffs in the
Even when
80s.
you clinched a division, it was a celebration. Even when it was one wild card, if you clinched that, there was a celebration. Now, it's like, fuck this. You got to get to the championship series to do a celebration. All right. Patriots stink. I don't even know who's playing quarterback for the Saints.
Oh, Carr played last week.
Oh, did he play? I
Carr
thought
played,
he was dead.
and then they brought in Jameis
Kamara.
at the end and decided
okay.
to just chuck the ball 80 yards downfield, and he got picked.
Okay, well, I'm taking the Saints anyway.
And Kamara's back too. So
Oh, okay, perfect. Definitely taking the Saints.
Oh, Mac stinks.
I'm going Steelers cover. No, never mind. I'm going
What?
Ravens.
OBJ was at practice today.
Yeah, he was
over.
limited though.
The Steelers.
That's more than he's been the last 3 weeks. So if he dresses, it's over.
I think Kenny Pickett is bad.
I did
That's
I noticed the
unfortunate.
Texans made a bought day the same day that TJ was in town. So that was nice of them. That was good for them.
What happened?
JJ Watt Day was on Sunday. They
Oh,
put his name and number in the Ring of Honor, even though they'll probably end up naming the stadium after him eventually.
Well, he's gonna have to pay a lot of money for that.
But they did it on purpose to make sure it was against
When they were playing the
Steelers because they knew they were playing the Steelers and to make sure his brother was there. And then the whole
The other
family
one's
could
still
watch
there?
them over. No,
The
he's not on a team, but he was at the game.
Okay.
Because there was a moment like they had a picture of the
They
three
were
of
all
them.
of them. Yeah. You don't have to worry about the fullback, brother.
Trap game for Philly.
For Philly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fun fact. I'm slowing the show down, but there are currently 3 starting quarterbacks in the NFL who have won Super Bowls. Can you name them?
Stafford. Mahomes.
Yeah. Who's the other one? Danny?
We're doing the Eagles.
Are they starting or could they be backups?
They will be the starting quarterback this week.
Who's out at starting this week? Is it in this game? It's not in this game because I said it's that.
Nope.
Yeah. Drawing a blank right now.
Russell Wilson has a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, that's
he wanted it in New York.
Russell.
It's the only 3.
Yep.
Yeah. Now that Rodgers is hurt, there's only 3. I feel like that's a low number. I feel like it's a very low number.
That's what happens when Mahomes wins 6 of them in 5 years.
Brady. Yeah. That's what happens.
Aren't you guys? You should be excited though for the Broncos. They're wearing the white helmets this week.
Okay, great, wonderful. All right, I'm taking the Cardinals. Joe Burrow can't.
Hold on, I'm taking the Rams. Just so you guys know.
Okay, great.
I'm calling it a Chucky.
I'm taking the Cardinals.
Puka Nuka is going to go off against
Puka Nacua.
Fun fact: if you have him on your fantasy team in any thing, it's considered an inappropriate team name.
I'm sure it is.
To use his full name.
I'm not surprised.
Because I made one of my team names Puka Nakuda in my pants, and it said no, that's not allowed. So I changed pants to shorts, and they said not allowed. So I changed how I spelled Puka, and they let it go through.
Funny story. I had a friend, Steven, and I guess Steven, you know him. His last name is King. And it would always change his name in the video game character because people were naming their players Fuck King. So he couldn't have his last name King as the player. It would always change it to like Jones or something stupid, whatever he put his name. That was in EASHL. Those were the days.
I'm going Cardinals.
Yeah, me too. Joe Burrow is hampered, not playing well.
They're ready to bounce. They're ready to go.
Yeah, we've been saying that, but you're right.
Oh, was Zach Wilson for real? I don't think he was.
Headband. Are we ready for evil headband Zach Wilson? No.
I think they're going to be able to run the ball with Bryce, and maybe Cook wakes up.
I'm taking to cover at least.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the Jets pull this one out.
Chiefs, this is easy money right here, if you ask me.
This is going to be the game where Kirk Cousins throws like 7 touchdowns and 450 yards.
No. Could be the game of the year on Sunday night, though.
I could ask this: is more importantly, is Taylor? Do we know? Is she going to be in Minnesota? Or is it too cold in Minnesota this time?
Probably too cold. It's probably freezing for her.
I think she was only there because she lives in New York.
But
she's subletting her house, so it doesn't count.
It's Taylor Swift, so she could do whatever.
I mean, she could, but I think that was more of a.
She's so popular right now. She could do insane amount of things, and
she could do whatever the hell she wants. I get that. She could be at every game.
Has a house in every state at this point.
Yeah, sure, if she wanted to, but I'm saying like it made sense because she lives in New York, or has a house in New York, and who wants to go to Minnesota? But then if she doesn't go and they lose, is this a reverse Jessica Simpson thing? She has to keep going? How superstitious is she is the question. We'll see.
The funniest was how miserable Brittany looked in that box. Brittany Mahomes looked so miserable being at that game on Sunday.
I think that was just a bad spot picture.
It was a bad spot, but
She doesn't seem like the jealous type. But
and also all the Zach Wilson and Donna Kelsey memes are amazing.
But also, if you're coming in and you're the hot, I mean, they're all attractive, whatever. But you're the big story. You're the star quarterback's wife, and then this bitch comes walking in with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, and you're like, well,
and Hugh Jackman.
And Hugh Jackman. I'm kind of.
I was talking
now
to
at least the third prettiest person in the room. It's like, kind of just kick me out here.
It's just like it's crazy how how popular Taylor Swift is just like she can't literally go anywhere.
No,
like without that must suck. Jesus. But that's all part of the theme, though. But
right.
And also, the best was, did you guys watch the clip of her walking into the stadium? Like,
that's
security? She looked so confused.
Right.
She looked so confused. She's like, "Oh, I have to do this."
Every single beat reporter was right there, ready to go, and it's like, "Oh, we got it!" Like
it's literally what everybody was waiting for. That was the only thing.
Right.
Rodgers was already inside, talking to Mr. Pfizer,
and people were like, "Oh God!" People are giving the NFL shit for covering it as much as they have. I don't. It doesn't make any sense to me, because if you're them, right? If you take people who watch football and people who like Taylor Swift, I think you have 95% of the population. If you put them all in two circles, you have 95% of the population.
Yeah, but you want that extra 5, so that's why you promote the.
So that now we got to find what's the other 5%. I don't know. You got to
the ones that don't watch football that like her but don't watch football.
No, but I'm saying if you combine the people that like her and the people that watch football.
Also, take out the people who don't.
There are like I said, there is only 5% of the population that doesn't like one or the other, in my opinion. So you have to get Betty White into this. I don't know. It's old people that don't like either of them. I think we can beat the Raiders. I'm just saying.
You know what you do? You put Jerry Jones in that same booth with Taylor Swift and see how much people watch.
Okay, you want to see a sexual harassment lawsuit on your hands? That's what you do.
What are we taking in San Francisco?
I mean, I'm taking San Francisco. I just think there's no one better than them. Personally,
I'm gonna say,
they're
and they're at home. Like I think
I get what you're saying,
but
I'm gonna go with the Cowboys, hoping they lose.
Okay.
Yeah, they're clicking.
I feel like the way the Cowboy defense is just playing, especially the front defense is just playing, it's gonna be the roughest Purdy's had to deal with. This is his biggest test since Philadelphia. And also, 100%. Zeke's not going to play center this time. Last time Dallas was there, Zeke played.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. Was the list. That was the thing. I mean, yeah, this is the biggest test he's had. And really, when's the last time he had a real test? He hasn't. You know, the wait. Yeah, the championship game. Yeah.
Right.
That he got hurt in. That's it.
Yeah, that was it. That was.
So yeah, but it's that he didn't really have a test. He didn't have a chance. He got hurt. Before that, he was playing Kirk Cousins.
But that was the first offense. That was the first defense then he had to go against and try and beat. This is probably the second best one since, other than the Eagles, that he faced. Defensive front wise. If you don't beat them, I'll be more mad.
Yeah, you guys gotta have a bounce back from last Thursday night's debacle.
See,
Josh McDaniels stinks.
I know you got wait.
They stink out.
Are you going to defend him right now? Are you
about
to defend
I'm not. You guys also have this problem, so maybe you don't see it. You have to be able to block people, and I don't think
you haven't been able to block in 30 years. So what's your problem?
We've always been able to block pass-wise. We can't run block.
I would take
your
one-legged left tackle over everybody outside Andrew Thomas, my offensive line.
I would too. I wish they would just let him play with one leg, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen.
When you cut him and he wants to be on here next year to play right tackle.
I mean, he'll be back next year, hopefully.
No, because you're going to try and get save money by cutting him.
Well, he's going to get his contract's up.
Where is it? Vegas?
Yes.
Do the Raiders play on the road?
No.
Kind of
It doesn't seem like it.
That was the stipulation of the new stadium was they get all home games. And they still lose.
44.5.
My point is Max Crosby might murder Jordan Love this week. It's very possible.
Is that what you're like rooting? Are we trading for Tim Boyle then because they signed Trevor Siemian to go play quarterback for the Jets?
We're not trading for Tim Boyle. We're just gonna let our guy play. Our guy's name is Sean Clifford.
Oh Jesus!
Sorry, just speaking of old college quarterbacks and James Franklin. That's who we're going with.
10 years older than that guy. 44.5.
I mean,
I'm gonna go.
I think we should be able to beat the Raiders but regardless of who plays quarterback. And I don't think Devontae's going to play either.
Devontae's playing.
He wants to. I'm sure he does.
He played last week, so
did he? I thought he was out last week.
I thought he played.
No, he played. He played. He's either trying to get traded or get a new contract. So he's not.
Yeah, he's been going off.
I thought he was banged up.
No.
He's very excited to get cut and take a league minimum to play for the Jets next year when Rodgers comes back.
Oh, God. All right.
We're gonna put a big G on the side of the Jet helmet next season and just Cobb, Lazard, Wilson, and
I'm telling you, it's worked out great so far for the Jets. Really has.
In fairness, it should have lasted longer than 4 plays.
Oh, in fairness, you should have got somebody to block for him. Maybe you should have given him 2 first-round picks. You could have had the one-legged offensive lineman. Just saying.
Weapons are great. You know, when the quarterback gets blocked for.
Also, Dalvin Cook stinks.
Oh, I wonder why the Vikings let him walk.
Then again, so does Alexander Madison, but that's another conversation for another day.
Well, fun fact then, the Vikings stink.
Not good. Confirmed, not good. So, one less thing for me to worry about. All right, boys.
Like you have a chance at
Packers have a chance to make the playoffs. They just do. The NFC is a fucking disaster.
You have literally the Eagles, the Niners, and the Cowboys, and then dog shit.
And it turns out the Lions because we can't touch them. But you're right. There's them 3. There's like the Lions and maybe one of the Saints or the Bucks. I don't know yet. The Seahawks are in there.
Are so hard to read.
I know. And then so there's 3 good teams, some oatmeal mush in the middle, and then everybody else is just scrambling out of the hole to figure it out. All right.
Well, we're going to work on figuring out more about this next week.
See you, boys.
See you guys.